Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about how perfectionism ruined my life. Perfectionism. All of my life, I have been a severe perfectionist. Such a perfectionist that if I believed I couldn't do something perfect, I wouldn't do it at all. It took me until just this year to get over my perfectionism. After a lot of thinking about it and self-improvement, I realized it's actually pretty fucking stupid to be a perfectionist. I know a lot of artists feel this way too. As I am an artist of many traits, I was always holding myself back in every single thing I did, in every single craft I wanted to do. Whether it came to learning languages, whether it came to making art, making music, making YouTube videos like this, streaming, doing anything that I did. I was a perfectionist to the point where I just wouldn't even attempt the thing I wanted to do because I knew it wouldn't be perfect. Do you know how stupid that sounds? How would you know it wouldn't be perfect? How would you know it wouldn't be good enough if you don't even try? That is something I had to hammer into my little peanut brain. An example is when I finally started doing digital art. I was so hard on myself that I couldn't even allow myself to grow as an artist. I couldn't get better at the thing I wanted to do because as soon as I started feeling, well, this is not going anywhere, I'm never gonna make this perfect, I never finished the piece. I would have 50 different unfinished pieces in my Procreate library because they weren't perfect, they weren't done, and I didn't want to finish them because they could never be done. And this is a very common thing for artists of any trade. Getting over perfectionism is a huge hurdle because you want to produce the best things that you can produce. That is just the human urge. You want to be the best, you want to do the best, you want to put out the best, but you can't get to that point unless you've had practice. And if you hinder your progress by not practicing because you're not perfect yet, guess what? You'll never be perfect. And there's a chance that you just will never be perfect in general because perfection isn't really real. It's not a real thing. No one is perfect and no one ever will be perfect. This is something that was a hard conclusion for me because I wanted to be the perfect person. I wanted to look perfect. I wanted to do everything perfectly. I wanted to be that person who is just objectively perfect. But when you're trying to be something that doesn't exist in this world, in this universe, you will not succeed. Being a perfectionist ruins your life because you're not able to accept yourself in the way that you are now. And if you're not able to accept yourself in the way you are now, guess what, buddy? You're not going to succeed in what you want to do later. You're not going to level up. You have to accept where you are right now so that you can get to that next step. Because if you accept where you are right now, you have more practice time. You have time to practice to level up to that next step. And you have to keep in mind that your goal is not to be perfect in the end. Your goal is to do the very best you can in the end with ample practice. Because that's what life is about. It's not about striving to be perfect. Yes, you can strive to be the very best that you can be because you have unlimited potential to be the best for you. You just got to get yourself out of that headspace of being perfect all the time. Because you'll never have perfect opinions. You'll never have a perfect face. You'll never have a perfect body. You'll never have perfect art or music or literature or whatever you're trying to do. You'll just have the best that you can do for yourself. And you can do so much. There's so much potential in human beings that most of us are not tapped into. All you have to do is tap into that potential that you've had since the very day you were born. You gotta let go of trying to be perfect and just remember to be you because you're not gonna be anyone else. For instance, there was a big portion of my life where I thought I wouldn't be perfect unless I got a nose job. How shallow does that sound to you, first of all? Although I think it is important to care about what you look like to a certain degree because the way people treat you in life does matter, you want to be at an advantage, not a disadvantage in society. For instance, being hygienic, not smelling stinky. That's pretty much what you gotta do. But once you get into this rabbit hole of looking a certain way, looks maxing and doing all that stuff, you start to lose yourself. When you want your appearance to be perfect, you lose who you are from the moment you were born. You lose that thought of, maybe I've been beautiful my whole life. Maybe from the moment that I was born, the moment I came out of my mama, I was just a baddie. You know what I mean? I was a baby and a baddie. That's how you gotta think about yourself. Because once you buy into these stupid fucking beauty standards that are nothing but imperialist and honestly, racist, you get into the place where I was. I was in this place for such a long time. When I was 13, I really hated my nose. I hated my nose because it reminded me that I was Middle Eastern and not fully white and just a beautiful white girl. That was my concept of beauty. You had to be having European features, and I was really insecure because none of the European features that my mother's side of the family had transferred to me. The only thing is my skin color. The only thing is that I'm a bit pale. I got the Egyptian nose, and I got the North African huge bottom lip. If you're North African, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But all of us have that big bottom lip. And, of course, the smaller eyes. And I was so insecure about this for my entire life. To the point where when I was 13, I would push my nose up like this. Literally like this. First of all, I don't even look good like this. I look dumb. You know? It looks dumb. I look great the way my nose is naturally. The fact that I was trying to give myself DIY nose surgery at 13 years old, that's not normal. To the point where I am not on good terms with my father, but he was completely right when he said this to me. I did that in front of him once, and he said, "You will never be white. Stop doing that." That moment when he told me I would never be white, I would never be a full European white person, it changed my perspective a little bit. It was harsh, but it was needed, and that was one of the only things he said that I've respected him for. Because he was right. European beauty standards are not perfect. They're not, the perfect person isn't a European person with European features and upturned nose and doe eyes, and that's not the perfect person, and that's not something that you have to strive for to accept yourself. I know I have contacts in, but that's just because I've never had differently colored eyes, and I just thought it would be fun. I like to customize my avatar, But truly, I had leaned into that thought that I have to be perfect, especially by society's standards. I didn't want to show myself unless society accepted it and thought, wow, that is the perfect way of looking. That is the perfect way of being. That is the perfect way of making that art that you want to make. That shit doesn't matter, guys. It actually doesn't matter. The only thing you can do is do the best you can do at that point in time. Because you will notice you will grow as a person. The things you will make will become so much better as you keep going on. It takes time and it takes practice. And you can't limit yourself by thinking, it's not perfect yet. I'm not going to do it at all. Because that's not the mindset you want to go into these things doing. You don't want that mindset. Trust me, it'll hold you back for the rest of your life. Do you want to live the rest of your life being like, well, it's not perfect yet. I guess I should just give up on everything, and I guess I'll get on Reddit now and, body shame some women or whatever people who do that do, you know what I mean? But it's truly not something that will fulfill you, is striving for perfectionism. It will never fulfill you because, once again, you will never get to that point of perfectionism. It's not a real metric. It's something that we've all made up. We've not given people their opportunities to tap into their potential and truly believe that they have something to offer, even if it's not perfect. For instance, I was so worried about posting content. This was something that I was so stressed about all the time. I can't make these videos until they are perfect. My videos are not perfect at this moment in time, and I know that because they never will be. I'm not a perfect person. I don't make perfect content, and nobody does. Literally nobody does, not even Mr. Beast himself. He's not perfect. He doesn't make perfect content. He's really good at making content. I can't even knock him for that. Go, Mr. Beast, you're wonderful at making content. But he's still not perfect because nobody is. The only difference between him and you is that he fucking did it when he wasn't perfect. The only difference between you and everyone else who does something before they're perfect at it is that they did it. That's it. And I know I say this a lot. I run these points home a lot because I think it's important. I want you guys to fully understand that you will not be perfect, and that's okay. The only thing that matters is that you do what you want to do without limitations. That is the whole philosophy of my life. Do what you want to do without limitations, because those limitations make you hate yourself and hate other people and hate the world. You're a cynic and you're just depressed all the time. And I was a cynic for my whole life until now. I was literally glass half empty all the time when I realized I have so much to offer the world. I have so much in my life that is offered to me. There's so much that I can do, and I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be cynical about everything I make. That is not what being an artist is. People love to drive that home. Artists are depressed because they're making their art. Oh my God. Artists, their souls. They're searching for their souls and they can never find it. They need to be perfect and they'll never be happy. No, shut up. Actually, shut up. I hate that rhetoric so much because it's you're not a better artist just because you hate yourself in the world and are so worried about being perfect. You're not. Sorry, that doesn't make you more profound. That doesn't make you special. It just makes you a little bit cringe. It's cringe. It's cringe. The fact that you think you have to be the tortured artist to make good art. Of course, many times your art will come from a place of sadness and loneliness and not just strictly happiness and grind. Of course, that's how you make art. But it's not the only thing that you have to do for the rest of your life just because you're an artist. Trust me, you're not going to do much if that's how you're thinking. You're not going to do much. And if you do you really want to be known as that sad guy? If you want to project, a confident person who is assured in themselves, that's not the route you're going to want to go. And if that's the route you want to go, I'm the sad guy and life is hard for me and I need my stuff to be perfect. And if my art isn't perfect by the end of my life, I'm just tortured for my whole life. Like, life is torture for an artist. Then this video is not for you. But if you're not wanting to do that, if you're finally sick of being that cringe-ass, sad posting, fucking beta-ass person, this video is for you. And just trust me, because I was that person. I would call myself a loser. A lot of artists think I have to call myself a loser and, I have to strive for perfection, but I'll never reach it. And that's what makes me an artist. And it's just like, that's not what makes you an artist. That's what makes you a human being. You strive for perfection, but you will never get perfection. It's just not a thing. Humans aren't perfect. It doesn't matter if you're an artist or you're not. If you're a human being, you will never reach perfection, and that's okay. If you want to be successful, you need to come to terms with that, because you know that you can just keep doing your best, keep leveling up. That's the only thing you need to do. You might never reach perfection. It doesn't matter. You just keep leveling up, because that's what will propel you into success. Literally. Just stop staring at whatever you're doing and not sharing it. Stop looking at whatever you're doing and thinking it's not good enough yet. I promise you, if you've been thinking about it for the last 6 months to a year of your life, it's ready for the world to see. You don't need to do all that. Trust me, it's going to be okay. Like, the longer you wait and sit on those ideas, the longer you won't accomplish anything. And those ideas will never exit your mind, and they will never be seen by anyone else but you. And if that's okay with you, then that's fine. But for a lot of people, that's not okay with them. They do want to share what they have with the world before they die one day, inevitably. We're all going to do that. And I feel like most of us do want to leave our mark on the world, but we're just too embarrassed, and we think it's cringe to say, yeah, we want to leave our mark on the world. But I think that actually not wanting to share the stuff that you want to share with the world because you think it's cringe to share what you want to share with the world, I think that's a beta behavior. I think Sigmas go out there, they do what they want to do, they share it with the world without giving a fuck what they think. And they know that they'll never be perfect. And that's okay with them, because they know that they can just keep on pushing. No matter what. You're going towards a goal that will never end. But that's okay, because that's the whole point of having a goal. Do you really want to be satiated to that point? Do you want to be satiated to the point where you no longer have passion for the thing you want to do? In my opinion, I would rather die than lose my passion. No matter what I get, no matter what I have, I will never lose that passion, because I know it's my driving force in life, nothing else but that passion. And no matter what your passion is for, your passion could be for fucking money. And no matter what, if you know that you'll never be the perfect businessman, if you know that you'll never be the perfect fucking cash cow machine, you will still get to the place where you'll make so much money that you'll never even believe you could make it beforehand, when you were doubting what you're making, when you were doubting your process, when you were doubting all that stuff and you were just in perfectionist mode. You will realize a huge drastic change, because guess what? People who take opportunities are usually not perfectionists. Yeah, and I know that being an opportunist is so looked down upon in our society. It shouldn't be. Take those fucking opportunities. Snatch them. They are yours if you take them, not anyone else's. Don't let some beta be like, you took my opportunity to do this thing, but, my thing wasn't perfect yet, so I couldn't do it yet. Are you serious? Are you actually being serious with yourself? Come on. Boss up. Boss up. Don't let people take opportunities that you want to take just because you're not ready to do what you want to do, because it's not very much like completely perfect yet. That's ridiculous. Think about how crazy that is. Think about how crazy you're thinking. That's not the right way to go about it in any circumstances. I think the best thing you can do, put your shit out there, Take time, but don't don't go crazy with taking time. There are ideas I've been sitting on for like the past 10 years of my life, and frankly, I'm over it. I will be sharing all of my ideas. And with that, I would like to end the video off by saying, stop being a perfectionist and just do what you want to do, because that's what I'm going to do. And if you want to see what I'm going to do, I post 2 times a week. So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, I think it's the notification bell. But yeah, so do that, and I will see you next video. Yay!